2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds.
My God.
And so on this morning, I want to talk about breaking chains with divine weapons.
All right.
Breaking chains with divine weapons. For me, one of the greatest contemporary thinkers is a man by the name of Dr. Naim Akbar. Dr. Naim Akbar is a clinical psychologist. He's a distinguished scholar. He's a great speaker, and he's an author. Now, one of my most favorite books written by Dr. Naim Akbar is entitled Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery.
My God.
This book is quite marvelous because you see, Dr. Akbar is well known for his Afrocentric approach to psychology.
All right.
The book really pricked my heart in particular. In one point of the book, he says that the slavery that captures the mind and imprisons the motivation, perception, aspiration, and identity is more cruel than wrists, shackles, and ankles being shackled.
My God.
He says that slavery that feeds on the mind is the worst form of capture.
My God.
Dr. Akbar, he claims that to break the chains of mental slavery, information about the Black experience and Black reality must be transmitted as broadly as possible. When he talks about the Black experience and Black reality, he says that singers, Black singers, must sing about it. He says that Black researchers must identify it.
Yeah.
He says, when talking about information about Black folk, that Black actors must act it. Black scholars must conceptualize it. Black teachers must teach it. And Lord knows, Black preachers must preach it. From the cradle to the grave, he says that Black people must submerge themselves in information about themselves because each bit of information molds the keys that will open chains that are on our minds.
Yeah.
Now some may say, well, Dr. McCoy, what kind of chains are you talking about?
Help us.
When it comes to the Black community, what kind of chains? Why do we need a key after all? Well, mental chains have to do with you thinking that you are inferior to someone else.
Help us.
You see, the Black community has to be so careful for the mental chain of thinking that Black folks haven't really done that much. How many times have you heard Black folks say that Black folks have a long way to go, but you don't always hear Black folks say that Black folks have come a long way. You see, a mental chain forgets the fact that in 1619, Black folk were brought to a land where they did not speak the language. In 1619, free Black persons were put in chains and had to work hard and never got paid. Those same Black folk take the chain off and realize that now they have their HBCU. Or they have their own school. Take the chain off and realize that Black businesses are prevalent even in this country, even though we don't always take care of our own businesses. Walmart sees our money more than the local Black business, and so a mental chain. Not to mention the Black church. If it were not for the Black church, some folk would not be in office today. If it were not for the Black church, some folk would not have what they need to sustain their lives. Take the mental chain off and remember, it's 2019 now. Celebrate the things that Black folk have done. Take the mental chain off. What might be another mental chain, McCoy? Well, if you are a person who is Black and you have kinky hair, and you find yourself talking about good hair, and when you talk about good hair, you don't include the kinky hair because it's kinky. Oh, that's a mental chain. God makes no mistakes. Created you the chains that are on our minds. And even in 2019, even followers of Jesus Christ need information about themselves in order to mold the keys that will open the chains that are on their minds. That's why I admire the Apostle Paul.
Yeah.
Because the Apostle Paul, he was a great mental chain breaker.
Yes, he was.
He was a great liberator.
Amen.
Going and traveling around talking to people about how they could break the chains. Even in Corinth, he shared information to open the chains that were on these people's minds. You see, he talked about how his thinking and his methods were transformed through Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Now, Paul never denied that he was human. Paul never denied that he made some mistakes or that he struggled with the same things that the church at Corinth struggled with. He never denied that. He just simply wanted them to understand that there was a war going on.
Amen.
He wanted to make clear that he did not war according to the flesh.
Amen.
Because many of us are familiar with warring according to the
Flesh.
But Paul was trying to help them to break the traditional thinking, that thinking, that war type thinking that was traditional. He wanted them to know first the reason they fought. It's a bad commentary. If you go to war and you don't know why. So he wanted to make sure that they knew why they fought. He said, we fight to demolish strongholds. Now understand that in this context, strongholds had to do with wrong thinking. Strongholds had to do with wrong perceptions. Strongholds was that which contradicted the true knowledge and nature of God. A stronghold was relying on the habit of carnal thinking rather than spiritual thinking. A stronghold was about carnal methods, and it wasn't about the way God did things. These people would need to change their minds. When Paul fought, his weapons were not material, but they were spiritual. They were suited for spiritual war. We must fight. We must go to war. That's why your pastor stands to strengthen you Sunday after Sunday. That's why your grandmother prayed for you and is still praying for you, because she knows that this is a war. That's why we're trying to raise our children in the right way, because we know that we have to fight. The old saint said, we're soldiers in the army. We got to fight, although we got to cry. We got to hold up the blood-stained banner. We got to hold it up until we die. You're going to have to fight until you die. I can stand here and tell you that you're going to be blessed, and yes, that is true. I can stand here and tell you that the Lord loves you. Yes, that is true. I can stand and tell you a lot of things, but I have to remind you that there is a spiritual war going on, and you're going to have to fight. It's time to get suited up for the war. Paul is telling these people that we must fight. Know why you're fighting. Know what you're fighting, and know that you cannot use the weapons of the world. Not in this fight.
Amen.
Paul, he refused to defend his apostolic credentials. He refused to use carnal methods
Amen.
to defend who he was in Jesus Christ. I mean, if you think about it anyway, how do you really fight an enemy that you cannot see?
Help us.
If your enemy, if your chain, if your captor is hopelessness, how are you gonna? When you can't see your enemy, if your captor, if your enemy is loss of self-control, I guess you could swing at it. But what you swinging at? If your captor, if your enemy is bitterness, I guess you can intimidate it. You know, I was bullied when I was in school. The little girl would say, meet me outside by the bleachers at 3 o'clock. I guess you could do bitterness like that. But I don't know if you can fight bitterness like that. How are you going to fight low self-worth? I suppose you can call up the NRA. You know, that's the National Rifle Association. You know, that's how spiritual war. So if you wonder why you're feeling defeated, you have to ask yourself what you're fighting with. If you're wondering why you feel like you're losing, you have to ask yourself, what am I packing spiritually? You see, if you go to Ephesians chapter 6, Paul tells you about some things that you can put on. The NRA can't help you. You can go looking for a gun all you want to. You can look for a sword all you want to. But Paul told the Ephesians in Ephesians chapter 6, he lists spiritual weapons that he used. Paul said, put on the belt of truth. We're about to get suited up. He said, put on the breastplate of righteousness. He said, put on the shoes of the gospel and the shield of faith and the helmet of salvation and the sword that you have with you is the spirit. Paul refused carnal methods, but that takes reliance on God. If you're going to refuse carnal methods, you have to rely on the strength and the power of God. I'm talking about power that takes you through the week. The power of God that gets you past Sunday morning. So that by the time you get on your job, you know you got some stuff on. By the time you get into the house and somebody's getting this way or the other way, you know you got some stuff on. But you know, one commentator, when talking about the Christians in Corinth, he said that there were carnal Corinthians, and what they did is that instead of having on the belt of truth, they fought with manipulation. Instead of having the breastplate of righteousness, they fought with the image of success. Instead of the shoes of the gospel, this commentator said they fought with smooth words. Instead of the shield of faith, they fought with the perception of power. Instead of the helmet of salvation, they fought with lording over authority. And instead of the sword of the Spirit, they fought with human schemes and programs. That's the way the world works. The Corinthians, they needed to apply Paul's words. And even in 2019, we need to apply Paul's words. When we leave here today, we have to be prepared to break chains with divine weapons. And if you decided to follow Jesus, there's good news for you. Because you can follow Jesus' war strategy. You see, whenever it comes down to war, you must depend on spiritual things. When it's time to go to war, you have to quote scripture instead of Facebook. You have to quote scripture instead of your best friend. You have to quote scripture even instead of your parents. You have to be ready for war whenever the war strategy is out. God reminds us that we should not gradually accept evil. You know how it is, tolerating sin little by little. We live in a world where now some don't even want to talk about sin. Everything seems to be okay. So then little by little, we're losing the war. Because we're not following the one who has won every war. You have to liberate your thinking about what you have on you. You see, you may not have known it, but if you're following Jesus, you came in here with some things on you. You came in here with some divine weapons. I'm just trying to steer you in the right way so that you can use them. You want to know what your divine weapons are? You have on you the name of Jesus. Use your weapons. You have on you the power of praise. Use your weapons. You have on you the witness of worship. Use your weapons. You have on you the fire of the Holy Spirit. Use your weapons. Believers, we have something called an open carry permit. You see, I went down there to get one of those permits. They gave me two. And what I understand is that there is a significant difference between an open carry and a concealed. You see, when it's concealed, it's unseen. It means that it's up under your clothes and people can't see it. But when it's open carry, that means that when they see you coming, they see your weapon. And all I'm saying is, whenever you deal with some struggles, The enemy needs to see you come and know that you got something on you. The enemy trembles when he sees you come, when you got your weapon on you. You have an open camp. But God is not concealed. You got some things on you. You got the Father, you got the Son, you got the Holy Spirit. You even have grace and mercy following you everywhere you go. So you have to act like you're ready for war. You have to look like you're ready for war. You have to live like you're ready for war because you got something on you. You have something on you when you follow Jesus Christ. If you're not following Jesus Christ, you're feeling defeated because you don't have the things that come along with really following Jesus Christ. You might have a nice dress for Sunday morning. You might have a nice hat. You might have some nice shoes. You may even have a nice suit, but you can't fight with those things. You can't fight with those things. When you have Jesus, you have the best master ever known. And if there ever been a people who know some masters, it's black folk. But when you have Jesus, there's a story of Sojourner Truth. You know anything about Mrs. Sojourner Truth, then you know that she was enslaved. She fought for civil rights. She fought for women's rights. This sister would stand before crowds and speak her truth. On occasion in 1871, she delivered a speech and she testified about how Jesus is the best master. Amen. She stood up in 1871 and every available sitting and standing space was taken. So there were people all over the room. She began her speech by giving a little background about her life. Miss Sojourner, she recounted how her mother told her to pray that she would have kind masters and mistresses. She told how her masters were not good to her. She said that she was beat, whipped for not understanding English. She said that she would question God why he had made her masters be good to her. She admitted in that space to that audience that she once hated white people. But she said that once she met her final master, Jesus, she was filled with love for everyone. That's why you can look at the black community and they can love everybody because they met the best master that there's ever been. When you think about the love of Jesus, you think about how Jesus died for you, you can't harbor hate in your heart because you know the best master. When you think about how they crucified him and how they slandered his name and how they beat him, you can't hate other people because you know the best master. Whatever you think about the fact that Jesus died for people who didn't even love him, but he loved them back, you know the best master. So you can't hate because Jesus is the best master that we've ever known. You know why Jesus is the best master? Jesus is the best master because he mastered everything. Jesus mastered turning water into wine at the wedding in Cana. Jesus mastered calming the raging sea. Jesus mastered raising the widow's son at Nain. Jesus mastered those 10 men who were stricken with leprosy. He healed them. I told you he's the best master that we've ever known. He mastered feeding 5,000, and there's still being some left You have to know yourself.